We could keep talking to Jeff all night. Thought you guys needed a little sports fix. We've had shutdowns, mean tweets from Trump, trying to lighten up the mood. All right, I'll be back to tell you who's sleeping soundly and tossing and turning to also lighten or damper that mood coming up. Certainly good timing for those words. Trump won on a populist movement. Maybe the next candidate will get that support he wants from both. Well, Schultz is a longtime Democrat and has given about $150,000 to Democratic campaigns in the past, and he has been considered a potential candidate before. When he returned from Starbucks, retired rather, last June, he said his future could include public service. Now, former HUD Secretary Julian Castro, who announced his candidacy for the Democratic nomination this month, said today he worries that a Schultz run would cause some problems for the eventual Democratic candidate. This is Juan Jadeo as interim president. He took the position based on a clause in the Constitution that allows the chair of the National Assembly to assume temporary power and declare new elections if the president is not fulfilling basic duties. That came after President Nicolas Maduro was last May was elected in the United Nations, and European have ruled as a rigged election. Maduro still has support from Russia, China, Syria, and Iran. Meanwhile, Americans in Venezuela face uncertainty. Maduro initially instructed all U.S. diplomats to leave the country with 72 hours, but later backtracked and said there will be a 30-day window for negotiating with the Trump administration regarding their future. Finally, stay with us. We're talking sports, football, because there's been a lot going on in politics. And you all are still talking about the Rams-Saints game. Meanwhile, President Trump responded to Stone's indictment in a series of tweets Saturday night. It's what he always does. In response to the claim that information was released during the campaign to hurt Hillary Clinton, the president said, "What about the unverified dossier? A total phony con job that was paid for by crooked Hillary to damage him." And he tweeted that Roger Stone didn't even work for him anywhere near the election. Officially in the race, she is now. She kicked off her 2020 presidential campaign, as you can see all the video, today in her hometown of Oakland, California. A lot of these candidates are going home, wanting that hometown vibe, and she's always been very close to Oakland. Viewers know you write for SB Nation. You have a Sirius radio show at 6 p.m. Eastern to 9 Eastern, which we're on the East Coast, so we need to know that. And you also work with the Action Network, correct? That's where you're up in New York for right now?
Yes, lots of gambling content, obviously, for the Super Bowl.
Hands down, the best insider for the NFL. We both saw the tweet. He tweeted that there are now rumors in NFL circles that these refs happen to be all from Southern California, and that there could be, according to some conspiracy theorists, a fix-in. How much credence do you give to that?
This is an outrageous report.
Well, you clearly know that I am not rooting for the Rams. We'll just leave that one at that. But before you go, gambling for sports just became legal in Washington, D.C. This is super exciting for me. Let's give a round of applause if you're watching. Not that we do any of that all the time, but maybe we do. How prevalent do you think this will now be in terms of other states in the next year or two? Or not at all? All right, see you soon. All right.